There we go, guys, and welcome if you are joining us this lovely Saturday morning for the weekly recap show. And of course, what makes this show special this week is, of course, it's the closing show for season 1. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about the rewards and season 1 and how it went, and some interesting topics around touching on season 2. But of course, the main reason why we are talking today is we are talking about the rewards for season 1, and that's going to be quite interesting. So of course, as always, I've got some people with me. Let's start from a side. With us this morning, we've got as always Slash. What's up?
How's Yaku? All good?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. We've got the Cowboy, Scully Rebel.
What's up, everybody? Good to be here.
Lekker, man. Lekker. We've got Riplets with us as well. Riplets Monster, how you doing?
Doing yourself, my man.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. You know
good.
The usual drill.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And then we've got two special guests with us this morning as well. We've got Raki SA from First. How are you, bud? Raki? No. I think there might be a bit of a technical issue there. And then we've got Disco Panda from Lots with us as well.
Yo, guys.
What's man. Up? All good. So, Raki, have you managed to join us on there? Not yet. I think he'll just fall in as we go along. Let's hope we can get him back. So, yeah, guys, interesting week. The final week of season 1. All the final games have been played. Everything has been sorted from a season 1 perspective, and we are now literally at the end. I mean, it is now 9 weeks later, and I think everybody will agree with me that I can't believe that 9 weeks have passed. Yep.
Yeah,
super
quick. When it started off, it felt like it's going to take forever.
Trust me, at some points it did feel like it's taking forever. but the thing is that we had fun, right? I mean, the whole idea around around Clan Wars specifically was making sure that there's good games available for everyone to play, and having some good competitive things happening. I mean, from our perspective, and I mean, Scully and Slash will vote with me. Yeah, is that the whole intention of this thing is always to bring teams together, bring people together, get people onto being a little bit more competitive, the guys that want to be. And from that perspective, I think it was a great success. We started off originally with 32 teams, so just over 400 odd players. During the season, there was actually not even during the season, right in the beginning of the season, we had one team who dropped out, which was Wolf, and then now towards the end there were two other teams that dropped out as well. So overall, I think it went very, very well. We're very happy with the take up and the way it went. And I think before we get into finalizing season 1, I think we do have to touch on the progression of season 2 so far, and I think probably the best guy to do that is Rebel.
Yeah, yes, crunch time again, eh? Crunch time again. Well, from what I can see, season 2, thanks to the clans who've registered so far, I think that we've nailed down the majority of the clans that's going to participate within the Premier League and T5. We just need to do, basically what we're going to do this week is we need to do the player movement and register new players and all of that. So I just want to ask you guys to look out for those links, and just to give us the names of your players. We've already received a few names of the players that will be participating in season 2. So we're going to start updating it over this weekend and this week coming. And we want to see if we can finalize that by Friday, the end of the week. Yeah. And so tremendous response from the teams, the clans. There's a few clans that moved out or that indicated that they will not participate like AOV and OSB, but they're not disbanding or dying or running away in any form whatsoever. You know, they're just sitting out one round, but they'll be most probably be back in season 3. But we're still going to have, you'll see on the website that we have actually, you know, started populating the season 2 divisions already. But you know, like Division 1 has only shows 6 players or 5 or 4. But the reason for that is that we haven't done any relegation yet, and we haven't registered the new teams yet. But Division 1 will have 8 teams. Division 2 will have 8 teams, and then we'll have a look and see. We might have another Division 4 if Division 3 is too, you know, if there's too many teams. The objective will be obviously to try and start at the same time and finish at the same time, so we don't have a prolonged period as we had now, where Division 1 actually started a week earlier before the rest of the guys, and they've been sitting around waiting for us to finalize or to get where we are, you know, for the last 3 weeks. And then just want to say thanks to the guys from Division 4 who actually, you know, made an effort to play 2 games this past week in order to catch up, because their total games came to 10. So that has enabled us to basically finish off season 1 yesterday or today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, for season 2, you know, while we talk about it, and maybe just also in a recap for season 1. Obviously, you guys know that for season 1, you know, we had the Division 1 to 3 they were playing 12v12, you know, Conquest, or as we now know at the Premier League, and then we had Division 4, and these guys were focused on the 5v5 domination. And then, of course, now for season 2, we've sort of, you know, changed that format, and now have the Premier League, which is the 12v12, and then the T5, which is focused on the, you know, sort of smaller teams or smaller groups. And not only that, also on the bigger clans that want to participate within, call it a 5v5 or a domination setup. Now, what that has caused is that, Scully, correct me if I'm wrong, but at the moment we are sort of close to around 60 teams that are going to be participating in season 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, confirmed teams for the Premier League 12v12 is 27 teams, and for the 5v5 we have, I think, 33 to 35, you know, in the T5 series.
Yeah.
So we've got some of the clans like UB that don't have enough players for the Premier League anymore due to some of the players that's left.
Yeah.
And the same with ONIB, which only opted in for the T5 series, together with clans like MDK. MDK will not be participating in the 12v12, but they only opted in for T5. So hence that the 33 to 35 teams in T5 is a bit higher than you know, the Premier League, which is currently standing at 27.
Yeah, which makes sense, because I mean there's quite a number of teams out there that you know, they still want to play, they still want to participate, but they might not be able to field you know, the required, you know, well, actually it's not even 12, right? I mean, the ideal is that you have 15 players at least that you can
Correct.
field at any given point in time. And I mean, from my perspective, I think it's great to see because it means that
it's a lot of work as well. You need vehicle players, you need pilots, you need, you know, that it's good to have your infantry oaks ready, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the firing power, then it doesn't help you go and try and enter something that you can't compete in.
Absolutely,
Correct.
I agree. So I just want to quickly
Yeah, and it
check.
all comes down. Sorry, man. Yeah, it all comes down to flexibility as well. You know, we try to be a
100%.
league customized for the South African market, where we have all our players participate, and you know, that's where the flexibility comes in. And we actually pride ourselves to run 2 similar leagues, if you can put that at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing that makes Clan Wars unique.
So I just want to quickly check here. I think Raki has managed to join us. Alistair, are you there, bud?
How's it, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you now.
Apologies, man. I don't know what's going on. It was working, they're not working. Us old folk, we battle with this tech.
There was it's that back room, buddy. The signal there.
Yeah. No, but thanks for having me, guys. Yeah.
100%. And welcome to you, and thanks for joining us then this morning as well. So that's great. Of course, Raki from the first team for this morning's reward show. So guys, we've been talking a little bit, if you've just joined us for the stream, I see a couple of people have joined, and we've been talking a little bit about season 1 and, versus season 2 and the format changes and some things that we have seen. We've talked about some teams that have dropped out, some teams that have stayed. But this morning we are primarily here to talk about season 1 and, the finalization of season 1 and get some views, from some of the team captains or the team leaders that are joining us. Around how season 1 was perceived and how you guys enjoyed it and that sort of thing. So I think I want to put the question out there, and I want to put it out to our our 3 guests primarily, which are we've got Division 2, Division 3 and Division 4 here this morning as guests. From your guys' perspective, I mean, this is really the first time that we competed in an arena where there were things like rules in place, where there was structured game sets over a period of a couple of weeks, that sort of, call it, competitive scenario. From the players' perspective, I mean, from our perspective, obviously, we have a certain view from organizing perspective that we have in terms of what we want to do and where we want to take it. But from a player's perspective, I mean, what is the feedback, guys? I mean, did you guys enjoy it? Is it competitive for you? Is it are there things that you really liked? Are there things that you disliked? What is the view?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Not everybody at
One at a
once,
time,
please.
Ricky, you did it first, dude.
yeah.
I'll start by saying thanks to you guys for sorting it out. I know that my team had a great season and enjoyed it thoroughly, man. It really was awesome. I just you got to have the rules. There's no doubt about it, and you're not going to keep everybody happy all the time. So generally for the first season, I think everything went smoothly. Obviously there were a few hiccups here and there, but as long as before the game, after playing in some pub matches, we just double checked all our loadouts and things, made sure everything went well. I think most teams actually went quite smoothly. We did have an issue where one of our guys picked up somebody's kit, and it had a gas. It was from the other side, and he threw the gas. So that was a lesson learned. Don't go picking up random kits around the battlefield.
Scavenging.
We lost that map, unfortunately, but fought back hard. Perspective, everybody had an awesome time. It was, I think, it was really well run. Looking forward to season 2.
Lekker. Disco?
Yeah, we also enjoyed putting the work in. Obviously, we barely started up, and then we had to register, and then we had to get the guys together, and somewhere we had to find strats. So we just started at a point and just started friendlies with everybody. And we flowed through the whole season. I guess every team, we kind of knew where their strengths lied, and we try to focus on there. But we really enjoyed it, especially because there's something happening every week. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, or someone postpones. It's set, and we go, and you're going to have fun. I spawned in with the wrong plane once, but I flew directly into the mountain. I didn't even go into the map. So the rules do help keep things intact, because obviously if we had to run shotguns and TNT, people would hate us. So, but we really enjoyed it. All of the guys. We are happy how far we made it as a new team, or a merged team, even if I can put it like that.
Yeah.
And everyone's work in my team as well. Everyone had a bit of input or a bit of help from somewhere. So thanks, guys. You guys really, I think your move of pulling out of the community to get the community back together was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
It was. in all honesty, I think probably Scully is a better person to answer it. But we weren't 100% sure of that move. We had a plan, and then luckily it played out well, and that's always a good thing. But yeah, that was a bit of a risky move for us, because of course we also like playing with people and lots of people, and I always have to watch Scully, because if I some random Wednesday night I'll come home and he's made a clan, so so that's always an interesting thing. Reps from your side?
From my side, for as far as comps goes, I've seen a lot worse of hiccups. I mean, from most of my team that's got background history with competitive gaming, I mean, the hiccups that you guys have had, absolutely minimal compared to some of the other ones. I mean, some comps end early because full teams, like full divisions, will drop out because they're not happy.
Yeah.
But you guys, you try to keep the community happy at the same time, but also keeping your foot on the ground, saying, no, this is how it's going to happen. This is how it is happening, which is actually what needs to happen. And from our side, we're looking forward to Season 2, as well as seeing how far Battle Bros will actually take it.
Yep. So that's good. I think overall, from a competitive perspective, I think the whole thing around the divisions worked well, because it really gave the guys something to play for. Unfortunately, not all teams are created equal, and the worst thing for a team is getting into a game, I think, and just sort of being there for target practice, right? Nobody likes playing like that. That's unfortunately the way it is. There are just teams that are better and teams that are good, and there are teams that just want to play for fun. And what I liked about the whole division structure was that I never got a feeling during the season that there was any games that was a walkover at all. I mean, I've spectated a lot of games this season, and not a single game for me was a game where I knew from the beginning, who the winner was going to be. Here and there might have been one, where you clearly had a favorite or somebody that you thought was going to take the match from the beginning. But in general, call it in 90% of the time, the games were very, very well matched, and I think the guys had a good time being challenged as well. The whole idea behind setting the divisions and challenging the guys is that everybody ends up upping their game, and I think that objective specifically, I think was achieved, at least from my perspective. Scully, I don't know if you have a view on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, especially when we spectated some of the lower divisions like Division 3 and so on, we can see that the majority of the teams were matched up pretty tightly. And obviously, we will see some of the guys being relegated to upper divisions and some of them coming down. But at the end of the day, I think everybody is fairly good balanced within the specific divisions that they are in currently.
Yep.
And obviously for Season 2 as well.
Yep.
So I think once we reach Season 3, Season 4, we'll have, and also that's obviously going to depend on the participation of the teams. I think we're going to have really separated the very, very good players from, some of the guys who just like to play casual, or the average guys and so on. But still, whenever they compete within their specific division, it's not like one team is worse than the other. Whenever they compete within their specific division, they will be matched up with a team according to their skill. So I think that's a winning recipe right there.
Yeah, the overall idea, and I spoke to Slash about this the other day, and we had a bit of a conversation about it. But the whole idea around the thing is that even though the game is fun, and it's always fun, and it will always be fun for me to watch and to play and to spectate and to talk about and all that sort of stuff, there is a certain level of demotivation that goes on when you are just being slammed by another team, right? So the whole objective was, of course, keeping the guys motivated to enjoy the game, to play the game, and to compete for something at the end of the day.
If I have to give anybody advice, starting up as a clan, is don't be afraid to accept friendlies. We probably played a friendly against a Division 1 team every week, just to get our game up and ready for our match every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
agree with you there. I mean, we played a couple of friendlies as well, and also a new squad. We started off. We didn't have any strategy. We didn't have any game plan, and caught a big wake up in a little friendly against Team AOV, and we got absolutely drilled. I mean, properly drilled. And from that day forward, we every game we went into as a clan, we had a game plan, we had a strategy, and we stuck to it. And that improved so much, and not just in my team. I think the overall quality of player in the league has just improved 100-fold since the start of this. It forces you to get better, and I think all the teams are looking a lot stronger than when we started off.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, guys, I mean, the reality is that, I mean, the league is now a structured thing, and something has been put in place to sort of do some structured competitiveness. But I mean, I've noticed as well that there's a lot of teams that especially across divisions, that organize friendlies, and that's great to see, right? Because it's like, if you think about any other sport, if you think about something like rugby, for example, I mean, there's a lot of other games and other practices going on, from Saturday to Saturday when the guys play, sort of thing. And with the league, it's no different, right? I mean, these friendlies serves as good scrums, as good practice, and especially if you tend to do friendlies in in guys that are not in your division, maybe a division above, or whatever may be the case, it does give you an opportunity to as a team, be a little bit more cohesive and run together. I mean, we've seen it a lot on the streams, is that the teams that I almost want to say play together, stay together. I don't know if that makes sense, right? But the guys who spend a little bit of time together practicing, running maps, running strats, they are the teams at the end that come out on top. And a lot of that is done, within the friendly environment. A lot of the practices are done and getting ready for the league matches, right? So I mean, that's pretty good to hear.
And what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see the guys stepping up and actually improving and using this platform to do that at the end of the day. So it's fantastic to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all been run off of the Discord channel.
Of course. So I think the last thing that I want to just maybe touch on before we sort of move on to the actual reason why we are here this morning, in terms of the awards and ending off season 1, is I think that it's going to be very interesting for me to see, because obviously we've seen a lot of these bigger teams that now have a team in the Premier League as well as in the T5. And I think Scully made it a little bit, I think he made it clear, at least in some communication earlier this week. But of course, these two, parts of the league will run at the same time, right? They will run parallel. So I think this season will be interesting, because where you had, for example, just one game per week in the previous season, if you are now in a Premier League team as well as in a T5 team, it's good. The pressure's going to be on, right? Because the more games there are, the less time there is for practice and being within that team and being cohesive. So you might see some very interesting developments, with the amount of time that the guys have to put into the league for season 2.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a grind. So we just want to ask guys, to be cautious. It's nice to enter 2 teams for the Premier League and 2 teams for the T5. But at the end of the day, if you do that, you're going to sit with 4 compulsory games or matches for the week. And you're going to have to look at if you will be able to do that. Will you be able to reach that goal with your players and all the hiccups that you've experienced from the past? So there is still time to make some adjustments to that. This week coming, if you let me send me a DM, just let me know and say, listen, we don't think that we're going to have 2 teams in the Premier League. We'll rather have 1 and maybe 2 in T5 or whatever. We can still adjust that. But the thing that's going to happen is, if you guys pull out within the season or while the season is busy, season 2 is running, that's going to affect you negatively moving forward. So just make 100% sure that when you commit to these games, that's where you're gonna, stick it out right to the end. We don't want
What
to see
I'm worried
teams
about is
withdrawing.
that the guys moved me to Team 2.
But then you can have more beer. Have a
It's
beer
a
while you
weekend
play.
league, bro.
Yeah. No, that's the one that plays on a Friday.
At the pub.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, so we just want to make you guys aware of that. I mean, it's nice to have I know the larger clans will be able to do that, but just to try and be in there because my rival has got 2 teams. I also have to have 2 teams. You can rather have 1 team in there, a very good team, 1 in division in the Premier League and 1 in T5, than getting halfway through the second season and see that you're not going to make it, and then you're going to have to withdraw. Not only it's going to be a nightmare for the administration part of it, but it's definitely going to affect you negatively moving on to maybe season 3.
And I think, Scully, it's important to highlight to the guys what we mean by that, right? When we say it will, affect you negatively, just as a blanket rule, and I'm sure everybody is already aware of it anyway, but let me just put it out there anyway. As a blanket rule, when you leave the league and you come back, you don't come back in the division that you left it in, right? The standard rule is that any team that comes back or any team that is new to the league will go to the lowest division automatically, right? There might be an opportunity in season 3, or actually with the new battlefield, that there might be an opportunity to do placement games again at some stage. But for as long as the league is running, people work hard to move from one division to another division, or they work hard to maintain their place within a division. So it is completely unfair to have people, leave a division in, say, or leave the league in, say, Division 2, and then when they come back in Season 4, they want to start in Division 2 as well. Especially when there's been people, working their way up in the division or holding their position or that sort of thing. So just as a blanket rule, if you are a new clan entering the league, or you are a clan that has played and has left and has come back, the blanket rule is you will start at the lowest division at that point. Of course, I'm saying lowest division, I'm not giving it a number, because at the moment, there might be 3 divisions, but in a year from now, there might be 7 divisions, who knows? So, the rule is sort of set in that way to be also be fair to the clans that keep participating and keep working at holding their position, right?
Yeah, not only that, we try to stick to a specific number of teams within a division. And if it means that, like for Season 2, we stick with, in Division 1, we stick with 8 teams, and 1 team wants to come back. We can't kick out a team that has been relegated from Division 2 up to Division 1 and say, listen, okay, no, you can't be relegated because of this other team that wants to come back into their specific division. And that's why we have that rule, because some guys are committed and they played the whole season to get their position and to get relegated, like Lot's DI as an example. But when you have another team, obviously they're new into the new division, but if you work on the rule of last in, first out, that's not going to gel within that. That's why we say that if you leave, you're going to start at the bottom again.
Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, that's just in a nutshell. I don't know what you guys feel about that, Alistair. Your view?
No, it's the way it's got to be. The guys that, you for a reason, and you can't have that last in, first out. If you leave, you start from the beginning. The other guys are working.
So basically, what you're saying is good luck to the division that gets MSMK.
So if AOV come back, they start in Division 3.
Yeah.
See, MSNK is a good example, for instance, is that they had the opportunity to play within Division 1 for Season 1, but they opted out. And we made it clear to them at that time is that when you come back, you're going to start at the lowest level, which in this case might be Division 3 or 4, depending on how many teams we have.
Yeah, but look, it also depends on the team's mentality, right? I mean, I've got to give that to MSNK when we had the discussion with them. I mean, when we said to them, look, guys, if you come back, you will start, at the lower division. And, they were like, yeah, we'll start at the bottom and we'll eat our way up, right? And I think that's also a good mentality to have. At the end, the league is just, again, a structure, right? We're not telling people that, I've seen MSNK play many friendlies over the last couple of weeks against various teams. So at the moment, I think the mentality at least is good. The guys do understand why we are trying to do it, to keep it as fair as possible. Obviously the needs of the many always outweigh the needs of the few. So you've got to try and keep it as fair as possible for the majority of the people, right? And if there's one team, they have to unfortunately abide by that rule, and that will keep it fair for the entire league, right? So I mean that's the idea behind it anyway.
Correct.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, that's also got to encourage people not to leave.
Yes, I agree. Which is obviously something that we we want to promote from our side, because not only is it from an administrative perspective a little bit easier when you have the same teams competing season after season. It's also a nice thing to sort of track the guys, right? In terms of how they progressed, and you can actually say something about a team. I mean, when I started with Battlefield. In this sort of scene, a year and a half or a little bit, maybe almost 2 years ago, there was very little that I could say about specific teams, because, we didn't know them and we didn't have history on the guys and we didn't know the players and that sort of thing. And over the last 2 years, I mean, I've gotten to know a lot of the teams, a lot of the players. I can give you history about teams and, where they competed and how they went, and that stuff for me is always interesting, right? And I think it's also for the teams. It's a great thing, to also build up a bit of a track record, and to be able to say, this is where we started, this is our history, this is the legacy that we have, and that sort of thing. So, all in all, I think the idea behind it is a good one, and of course, it's aimed at trying to always progress the community. I mean, we have a blanket rule. The question is always, is it good for the community, yes or no? And the idea is that you always answer yes. So from that perspective, it's where we, I think it from a progression perspective and also for the teams, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
correct.
Definitely.
Right. So guys, what I want to do is just talking about that. I just want to switch this around quickly because I was going to talk about something else, but I think it's good that we can talk about it now. When we talk about team progression and what we're going to talk about next, which is the awards. If you look at the screen now, you'll see the Clan Wars webpage up there, and if you don't know where to get it yet, then I don't know where you have been, but I'll repeat the address for you anyway. That is on www.bfclanwars.net, and you'll see that at the top of the page there's that little button called Teams, and I'm going to click on there, and I'm just going to randomly, let me just select one, and let's just select MAD for the moment. And what you'll see there is you'll see the MAD page, you'll see a little bit about MAD and the description, and then you will also see where the awards are on the page, and you'll see it says Achievement Clan Wars Season 1, and of course MAD played third, and they won some awards there. So the awards that we are going to speak about next this morning, if you are wanting to see where they are once we've given them out, that is actually where you will find them. And as Scully and Slash said on the stream the other night, I mean, the idea behind this page, for every team is, and that was the idea from the beginning, is to build up a little bit of a resume or a little bit of a CV for the teams. I mean, every team probably has a YouTube channel and has some Facebook page and has this and that, whatever. But there's not really a central location where someone, a new recruit or a new person can go and, check out teams and sort of see what they're about and also follow a little bit of their progression around. So that was the idea around this page, and I do think it's very nice. And before we actually get to the awards, I think what I would like to call out again this morning, I did it on the previous award show as well, but I really think it's a job well done, is I think we have to call out Scully Rebel's creative capabilities, who who has put together all these medals, designed them, worked on what they look like and that sort of thing. So Scully, well done on that. I think especially on the pages, they look absolutely awesome.
Cool, thanks, man.
Yeah, very, very awesome, man.
Lekker. Right, gents. So let's get down to business and why we are actually here this morning. So if you have a look at the screen, you'll see that the first award that we would like to give out is the award of To the End. And of course, every team that has participated in Battlefield Clan Wars, irrespective division, will actually receive this medal, and this will be on every team's page as well. With the proviso or the provision that, of course, the team stuck it out until the end, which is, why the medal is called that. So, if you started the season, you ended the season, every team that participated will get this. And of course, from that perspective, for us, it's important because the worst thing to try and organize a league or a tournament or anything like that is if you have teams dropping out halfway. We understand it's a commitment. It's something that you have to, the teams have to agree to play, and to actually go through an entire season and not drop out and play it to the end is an achievement, and of course, hence the award there, right? So well done to each and every team that will receive this award, that stuck it out into the end, and that's a job well done, guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, with regards to that, I want to just, give hats off there to the Gig 797 team, who's actually played, they let us know about that they're not going to participate and they're disbanding and all of that. Obviously, they've got their reasons to do that. But I just wanted to say thanks to the guys, who actually, obviously, this is a decision that hasn't been made within a day or two. It's been coming for a while from their side. But ultimately, they stuck it out to the end, and they played their last match a day or two ago. And I just wanted to say thanks to those guys. That shows true sportsmanship. For sticking it out right to the end, and then let us know that, listen, you guys are going to move into a different direction. So we really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So. On to the let's call it the division-specific awards. And the first one there, you'll see it there, is the Champions Medal for Division 2, and that, of course, goes to Lots. So, well done, Lots. I don't know if my clap will be on the screen.
Oh, well done.
I really just actually want to thank my team, or our team. They're a bunch of great guys, being serious when we have to, but fooling around just as hard on the other side. And thanks to you guys. I mean, it's obviously been a lot of hard work from your side, and also just want to give a shout out to the Division 1 teams, the few that actually, played us. Sometimes even right before our matches, we have to do a double match so we know we're fully prepared for it.
Yeah. No, it's very good. I mean, I think you guys did exceptionally well. I think in the beginning of the season, I was a bit. I was at a Quintos.
Wait, what was that? What was that call out on one of those streams?
No, I don't know, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Might bring it back just now myself, actually. But anyway.
I must tell you, I was a bit torn in the beginning of the season, especially between you guys and DI. And I remember the stream that we actually did with the game between you two guys. I mean, I really didn't know which way it was going to go. because both of you guys were excellent teams. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, you guys came out on top. It was an absolutely wonderful game to watch. But I understand also that there's some good. But I understand there's some good camaraderie between the two teams as well. Obviously, you know a couple of the guys, and there's some history and whatever may be the case. So it was a really, really good game to watch. I think for you guys, and I think you would agree with me, that was probably one of your tougher games within Division 2. But really, really well played and exceptionally well done to you guys for coming out on top as champions of Division 2.
Yeah, that one purely came down to strat at the end of the day. It was our most difficult game. I would almost say more difficult than our first game, which was S187, I think.
Yes.
Which we would love to obviously have faced or seen what DI did, in their match. But no, it was a hell of a season. As I said earlier, every week we had to, look at which clan we're facing, who's their tanker, how are we going to take them on. So it took a lot of planning and effort from all the guys. But thank you very much. No, we really enjoyed it.
Excellent. Good. Moving on to Division 3 then, and of course the champions for Division 3 there being first. Alistair, well done to you and your team. I should probably just give you a bit of a clap as well.
Thanks guys. Thanks. Yeah, it's been an awesome season, and the team stuck with it, dedicated. There's a lot of gaming that goes into it, but no, it was an awesome season. I'm just really proud of my guys, and
yep, absolutely, man. Lekker. So listen,
I think you guys both your teams played exceptionally well. I mean, Lots played 9 games. They won 9 with 0 losses, with a total points of 27 at the end of the day, which was a clean sweep. And for first, it was the same thing. Played 8 games, won 8, 0 losses, with total points of 24. So that's an exceptional achievement by itself. To run for 9 or 8 weeks consistently without losing one map is excellent. So well done on that achievement for you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's,
Alistair, from your perspective, hardest game for you in Division 3?
Well, I want to thank all the teams. I mean, they all pushed us pretty hard, let's be honest. But a team that really surprised me was WTF.
Yeah.
It pushed us right to the end. It was a big surprise. But again, a lot of the teams. I mean, CTK, I was very surprised. They gave us a good go as well. The games against Raw were awesome. We narrowly won the first one. And second one, I think we just got the jump on them and in the beginning and ran away with a bit of the tickets. So it was hard for them to come back. But it was a pretty evenly matched league, I'll be honest. I've seen improvement in my guys. I've seen improvement in all the teams. So WTF, I would think, was probably our closest games.
Yeah, excellent. Very well done. So then moving on to Division 4, and of course Royal being our champions there. So Riplets Monster, from my side and from everybody, of course, congratulations, champions for Division 4, which was interesting. I mean, I'm never going to let Royal forget that they literally joined the league the day we were closing the registrations.
So, I remember that. I think I even told Jaco, I said, no, we can't accept this anymore, because this was such a tedious process to try and get the guys to register on time. And we've had all these latecomers, and I asked him, where the hell were they all this time? Where did these last minute teams come from? And it was a very close decision to say no on that one. But we're glad we didn't, because you guys proved yourself to be an exceptional team. So well done from our side.
Thanks, guys. From my side, I mean, I have to give it up to two of my vice captains, the guy who actually runs our team, No Limits and Mad Dog. I mean, these guys came from, as I said, different backgrounds. One is a PC gamer, one's a Call of Duty player. Sorry, swear word. And they literally stuck with my idea of, and they went and did the recruiting. They got enough players for us to actually go into season 2 a bit stronger. At the same time, the dedication from our guys, I mean, 7 days a week, it's constant battlefield. I mean, some guys have to throw away their old games that they previously loved to play just to practice. And I mean, we've, as Disco said, the amount of friendlies that we just to prepare to play some of these 5-a-side games was insane. We've just recently played MSMK, and wow, yeah, we won't let that one down. But to my guys, they played it, and yeah, we can't wait for season 2.
Lekker, man. Excellent.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And the other thing is, I mean, that I admire about you guys is, as you mentioned, now you all came from different backgrounds and you put this team together very quickly. But as you know, you progressed through season 1, you've actually managed to gain a bit more players, and will actually be competing within the Premier League 12v12 within season 2, and obviously a T5 team. So congratulations on that one.
Yeah. We have to, like, we were deciding maybe leaving them alone, but like, if we win Division 4, we have to kind of keep the trophy. We can't just sit there and go, okay, cool, one of these other teams can take it. So
there's going to be a lot more competition this time around. I can guarantee you that.
We welcome it.
No, Royal's definitely something to check out for. I think we had a friendly last week. Was it Frontlines? If I'm not mistaken. I wasn't in the game myself, but the guys definitely had fun.
Yeah, it was, well, Frontlines, different game mode there. But yeah, second 12v12 game we've ever done.
Yeah.
And our boys, they literally put it through till the end. We do have a lot of work to do with our 12v12s, but we've got a lot of friendlies coming.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're ready for season 2.
And of course, you will. This is probably the last time that you guys will see the Royal logo as it is. That is also changing to the new one, because that one was literally also designed in 5 minutes, I think, if I recall, Monster.
Actually, I've got to give props. I mean, I've got I can't remember who did it for me. Scully recommended another competitor to design it for me, and he did it within a couple of minutes, and I've got to give props to him. Literally last Scully said, I need this. It's like, do you know anyone who can do it? And yeah, that's, we nicknamed it the Dead Octopus. And we stuck with it. I love the emblem, but right now, because we went through a complete brand remake, we've got a new emblem that has been works for the last couple of weeks, and we finally have it done. So yeah, it was the last time we'll see Dead Octopus, and hopefully some guys have seen the new emblem because we are running.
Yeah,
it's sad to see it go.
Cool. But again, from our side, congratulations, champions on season 4. So guys, we're moving on then to be honest with you, what I consider a very prestigious award, and that is the Untamed award. And I know Scully spoke about this previously, but Scully, maybe you could just highlight again in terms of the way that you designed this medal. I know that there's some thought that went into this one.
Yeah, the Untamed Award is basically it's the General's Eagle from Battlefield 4. So we wanted to do some, to bring in some of the memories for some of the guys that came from the previous Battlefield titles, and that's where the inspiration from that comes from. The veteran players and so on, and we dubbed it the Untamed Award because if you look at it, it's an eagle and it's flying and it's free and that kind of thing. So I think it was fitting for the guys who claimed an ace through the specific season to be awarded that medal.
Correct. And of course the two teams receiving the Untamed Award given to a team that has been unbeaten or undefeated with a perfect record during the season is of course the two winning teams this morning as well, which is Lots and First. So guys, again, congratulations on receiving the Untamed Award. I think it is an exceptionally good award to receive. It says something about the team, about the commitment, and of course about the skill level at the end of the day to go through an entire season being undefeated. So that's so well done to you guys.
Thank you so much, Doug.
It's very very special. Thanks.
Good, man.
Yeah. I just have to go and hold back all the recruits now.
Make it private.
Disco, it's only poaching if you ask, right?
Or just to use the CV online on the website.
Oh, that's brilliant.
All notifications now, bro, if you want any piece.
Yeah, no, I can take the Discord going mad. Oh my word. Alright, so then guys, moving on to the next two awards. I am watching the time for us as well. The next two awards are actually voted awards, and they are voted awards for a clan or clans by the specific clans within those divisions. And the team captains would have seen this week that we did open those voting channels, and thank you very much everybody who did vote. You want to take a call quick? There we go. That's probably mom phoning.
Congratulations, my boy.
Well done, Disco. Well done.
Damn it! I was staying quiet.
Great. So the first award that we're going to talk about is the Cunning Award. And the Cunning Award is actually given to a team, or teams then in this case, that have been voted by the other teams as a particular clan or team that play with a lot of strategy, and that have, let's call it, cunning strategies, and that's where it comes from. I think it's a very nice looking medal. And this morning we are actually giving it out to four different teams, and the reason for that is there was actually a tie on this award within Division 3, but for this award, the teams receiving it today is the first team is DI, then we have Raw, we also have WTF, and then in Division 4 it's TRC. So well done to these four teams. Clearly, you know, the other teams that are playing with you or that played with you during the season recognizes that there's a level of skill and strategy involved. It was interesting for me when I looked at the votes. There were obviously teams that felt that they, voting for themselves wanted it. and I guess you always have that, where a team goes, well, if I have to look at all the teams, our dream team has the best strategy, which is something that you find in competitive. But at the end, all the votes were in, and well done to these four teams for being recognized, having, that strategy and skill, and something that other teams could see as well. So well done to you guys. Moving on then to the Candor Award, which is a very interesting award. The Candor Award is given, that's the one with the little scales, and that's the one given to teams that generally show good sportsmanship within a particular division. And I must say that there wasn't really, call it close votes here. I think these three teams that I'm going to mention next, they got pretty comprehensive awards on that. And so let me call out the teams first, and then I'll say what I think about this award. It goes to Gig 797, VTRN, and of course Royal. So that is Division 2, 3, and 4 Candor Awards. And I think, guys, this award for me personally is quite an important one, because the thing with running a league or, being involved with the community is that it always helps when, there's a nice vibe, and, the guys have commitment, and they, want to work with other teams, and they're not difficult to get along with, and, that sort of thing. So from an organizing perspective, it makes it, it's always fun, but it makes it more fun when you have these teams that, put in extra work and, generally are just nice teams to deal with. So, obviously Gig, we said farewell to them this week with them leaving actually disbanding. But I'm sure we'll see Darren and the squad around somewhere else, when it does come up. But very nice guys to deal with. VTRN always you know, a bunch of great guys to chat with, doing games, and obviously Royal being new, you know, you guys making a name for yourself also as, you know, being one of those teams that are really fun to play with and you know, easy to work with as well. So well done to these three teams. I personally have a big thing about this award because I really enjoy, you know, the guys being in a good space when we run a league like this. Yeah.
It was, you know, generally I think all the teams are. We didn't experience any problems really. So you know, it's tough to vote for best sportsman or the best sportsmanship, should I say?
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Look, I agree. I think, you know, there's always this view that, you know, if we call out these teams that they are the only teams who have good sportsmanship, which of course is not the case. You know, I think as an overall, probably 99% of the teams playing in the league, you know, had good sportsmanship and were very accommodating and, you know, tried to organize the games, you know, with everyone at the best times and that sort of thing. But I think at the end, you know, when you ask the teams within a division, you know, who is that guy that stands out for you, I think it's important to, you know, also recognize those guys that, you know, clearly are just a little bit more accommodating than everyone else, right?
Yeah. From Division 4, I mean, we had a lot of interesting things happening in our division, but at the same time, very, very easy to work with, being able to organize the matches. I've mentioned this previously. The captain from Save, Kefi, battle the game attack.
Yeah.
I mean, always asking for friendly, always asking for help to improve. I mean, great team, and even though they played 10 games, lost 10 games, they stuck it till the end and always had fun just playing the game. And always willing to assist where need be, and if we ask for a friendly, they're always the first to jump.
Absolutely.
It shows the good sportsmanship went around the entire league, and as you said, people voted, and it is hard. But at the end of the day, if we could give it to everybody, we would. But it was a voted medal.
Yeah, 100%. Right, guys, moving on then to another award that's quite interesting, and we've actually lumped a couple of guys here together, and this is the Dedicated Award. The Dedicated Award is given to teams within the different divisions that have, you know, dedicated stream teams. And this is important. You know, I don't think people always realize how important this is, but, you know, I mean, from my perspective, you know, I only have so much capacity, and you know, when myself, Scully, and Slash, you know, want to do a stream, I mean, we can maybe do 1, maybe 2 streams a week, and that is what capacity allows. But obviously, I mean, at any given point in time, with 30 teams playing, I mean, you can have, you know, 5, 6, 7 games, you know, happening on a single night. And then to try and get all of that, you know, out to the community, you know, to be able to watch the games, enjoy the games, you know, even learn from some of these games if lower divisions are watching high divisions play and that sort of thing. It's a very important thing. And I think it was important for us to also recognize, you know, the guys who make an effort, who put the stream teams in place, and who try and get, you know, some of these games or a lot of these games to the community. So just before I call them out, just for season 2, there will be a little bit of a change in this award, because we do want to bump up the importance of it, and we will give some more information as the information on season 2 becomes available. But for now, for season 1, the Dedicated Award for dedicated YouTube streams goes to SNLV. We have Gig 797 there again. CTK is there. It also goes to First. There is one for Royal, and then of course Raw as well. So I know, Alistair, you had Dutch there that was doing quite a bit of streaming, you know, on behalf of the First team. And then of course there were one or two of your other guys as well who did some streams there. So thank you from our side. We We of course have Royal, who did call it almost the majority of the Division 4 streams. So to you two guys specifically being on the stream here this morning, thank you very much. I think this is a nice award to get, and I think it does need to be recognized.
Yeah, and we're going to try stream a few more next season as well. We'll get a bit more committed and help the guys out. There was quite a lot of games where guys weren't able to have the game streamed, the lower divisions. So we're going to try and
up the ante a bit there.
Yeah.
like
our stream, we've got our betting in place between 12 our members, and it always seems that one of our commentators always seems to win. So it's something that we found a bit more hard to do towards the end of the season because of Brett's friendlies coming up. But we try to at least keep it to one stream a week. But at the end of the day, it is very difficult to do the streams, but we enjoy it. It's very fun to do, and at the same time we get to watch our opponents.
Absolutely.
How they play, how their strategies are. So
what you are saying is you are actually doing it for self-gain.
Flying left, right, and centre. I mean, we found a way to take out most of the pilots lately because of watching a few. And doing it in pub matches and getting a couple of very nice.
That's good.
A lot more of the awards. Is going to be about 30-40 streamers next season.
I wish.
That's the way to go.
Guys, just on that, if you are watching the stream this morning, thank you very much for joining us. If you subscribe, that's great. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also give us a like there and leave a comment if you want to. But talking about the streaming and streaming teams and that sort of thing, if you are interested in doing some of the streams and you're not 100% sure how to do it or where to start, please get in touch with us. I'm always very happy to help people get into it or get onto it and tell them what to do and how it works and that sort of thing. At the end, from a Battle Bros perspective, I mean, the aim is not only to promote South African teams and South African players, it's also to promote South African battlefield talent in general, which includes, people that are streaming and that want to stream and want to, sort of get their names and channels and things out there. So if you're interested in doing that, drop me a DM, get in touch, and we can see where it goes, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's important for us, to as you mentioned here, to grow the community, and we've seen tremendous leaps and bounds with the growth in YouTube channels. I remember when we just started the page and started promoting some of the clans and the videos and so on, there was very little channels available at that point in time. I spent hours and hours searching the web for South African gamers, and it's a few of them that came up. But if you do the same search today, a year later, a year and a half later, you'll see a lot of new channels that has popped up and so on. So yeah, props out to all of you guys who makes an effort to create, to be content creators at the end of the day.
Excellent. Right. Guys, and then we are moving on to an award, a very special award. It's at the moment you'll see it on the screen there, it's just black. You shouldn't be able to really see what's going on there. And this is awarded to a player who achieved the near impossible. And I know that this is something that is very close to Scully Rebel's heart, being able to call out individuals in terms of awards and recognition and that sort of thing. So Scully, this is your one to talk about, right?
Yeah, correct. When we started Battlefield Clan Wars, we were always looking for a way to not only recognize the clans. That's the easy part, but the thing is to recognize those specific individuals within the clan who stands out amongst everybody else in the community. It's quite a difficult task because there's no way to actually track their performance within these matches being held on private servers, and where we can't see any scores or things like that. So we had to look at some different variables at the end of the day. But there's one individual that stood out for me, and as the award says, it's awarded to a player who achieved the mere impossible. And this is not only within Battlefield Clan Wars. This has been since we've been playing Battlefield, basically. But I think it's we have recognized this individual before. Last year when we had our little bro recognitions and so on. But I think, within the Battlefield Clan Wars itself, this individual did take part in the Clan Wars as well. So I think it's only fitting to recognize him as well. So can we have a drum roll, please? Bam! Okay, so the special recognition award goes to Wild Winston. So let me tell you a little bit about Wild Winston. Wild Winston is our #1 melee kills individual within South Africa, beating Xbox and PC players with melee kills, with a total melee kills of 10,219.
Sounds like my shotgun.
Shotguns are allowed.
Yeah. Over a short period of only 4,063 games. So that is an phenomenal achievement, and hence we decided to award this to Wild Winston from the OSB team. If you look at the screen, you'll see that the closest PC player with 6,789 kills were done over a period of 5,253 games. And the Xbox player was 4,101 kills over a period of 6,332 games. So for Wild Winston to achieve 10,219 over 4,063 games is a phenomenal achievement. And hence we say it's awarded to the player who achieved the mere impossible, because in my lifetime I don't think I'll ever achieve that.
No, absolutely, myself. And Scully, correct me if I'm wrong, but this actually does make him the #1 melee killer across all platforms at the moment, right? I mean, he's literally #1 across all platforms.
In South Africa, yes. He's our #1 player within South Africa, and we're proud to have him on the PlayStation side.
Okay, absolutely. And I think it's actually a very sexy medal as well. I quite like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, Winston, congratulations from our side. I think it's an exceptional achievement. Being able to pretty much bring a knife to a gunfight, and obviously win, right? Because clearly you don't lose when you bring your knife. So that's an exceptional achievement.
Yeah, that's one player I think that doesn't really need something that we don't speak of. In the Kronos Max realm.
Yes.
Because he'll just take you out with a knife.
It's that rapid fire.
Yeah, no. It's more.
Look at auto aim on that knife of his. That army trench knife.
Oh, that's excellent. Right, guys, that is all the awards that we've had this morning and that we've managed to dish out to the various teams and divisions, and we are now approaching the end of the show. And to be honest with you, again, I mean, it's been 9 weeks now. Actually, it's been about 12 weeks in the making since we officially started with the play-out games and the placement games and that sort of thing, and it has really gone quick, and it's been a lot of fun. And from my side, to our guests this morning, Raki and Disco, also Royal, Monster, thank you very much for joining us, you guys specifically, but to all the teams that partook in Season 1, absolutely great. I can't believe how quickly it went. I can't believe how much fun it was, doing it, and I think it's really good, from our perspective, being able to close Season 1 on a high and giving out, some awards to the teams that actually deserve that. So, well done to you guys, but of course, well done to everybody that participated and received awards this morning. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to and congratulations, obviously, to the Division 1 winners, which is AOV. Lots for Division 2, Division 3 first, and then Division 4 Royal. You guys played an excellent game, and thanks for participating in Battlefield Clan Wars. And then to the rest of the guys who also participated, thanks for your participation. The guys who did the streaming and who received those individual recognition awards, congratulations to you. Everybody who's going to participate in Season 2, we're all looking forward to a hell of a Season 2. I think it's going to be epic at the end of the day. We're still busy at the moment, obviously, quarreling a bit about rules, but we did that in Season 1 as well, and I'm sure that we'll get to a good understanding with all the clan leaders involved, to get to a common agreement when it comes to rules. Obviously, we do need that. And but at the end of the day, we sort it out this week. And obviously, we'll take your suggestions in consideration because ultimately, you are the guys who are playing the game, not us. And but yeah, thanks for participating and good luck for Season 2.
Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd also like to just take a second to thank you for participating. It's what made this tournament so awesome. But yeah, and organizing one team is it's a lot of work that goes into it, and I just want to take my hat off to you guys for organizing this. I mean, I've got one team to deal with. You guys have got 30 or 35 or whatever it was. And the work that goes into it is just phenomenal. And you guys have done a great job. So thanks for doing that. And yeah.
Lucky, man.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to deal with all the players on Discord as well. Just like busy everywhere.
Well, look, I mean, to be honest with you, Discord is, I mean, that's something that we had it for a while, but then only really started using it, during Clan Wars, and it's fun, right? It's also easy to communicate. I mean, there's a couple of things on there, the roast channel and the casinos now available and that sort of thing, so we also try and keep that side of the business fun. And as long as the guys are enjoying it, it's all good, right? It's all good. But gents, I think that's what we had for this morning. I would like to give everybody sort of a second just to close out and give us any final thoughts and what your views are. Monster, maybe let's start with you.
From my side, thanks to the Battle Bros guys. I mean, fantastic Season 1. As I said, we are looking forward to Season 2. And to the guys in the Premier, just be aware, we are coming hard for you guys. Coming.
My word, the challenge is out. like a disco.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for the opportunity, guys. And I think everyone's going to be watching this morning from our side as well. So shout out to the Lots boys, and yeah, I guess we've got a lot of preparing to do for Division 1.
Yep, absolutely. Ricky?
Oh, jumped the gun a bit, I think. But thanks for having us on the show, and thanks for the season. It's been amazing, and really looking forward to Season 2.
Lekker, man. Good. Slash?
Yeah, I just want to say well done to AOV Lots first in the Royal. Great achievements. And then thanks to the guys who stuck it out all the way and it's pushing through to Season 2. It's going to really be an epic season. I'm really looking forward to T5. I think it's going to be a great mix with all the teams in there. And just want to emphasize again, those guys that can stream, DM Yaku. And yeah, let's get some more streams going.
Absolutely. Great. Scully?
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's something that we didn't talk about now, basically, and I know that we're at the end of it, but yeah, Lots and DI, when we think about relegation, obviously, Lots and DI will automatically move up to Division 1, so congratulations on that one. And then we have First and Raw, who's going to move up from Division 3 to Division 2, and yeah, so congratulations to you guys, but obviously we've got a bit more space in Division 2, and we'll definitely, there might be more teams relegated this season that was originally anticipated, And we're not going to have any playoffs, actually, because of the amount of teams that either moved over to T5 or opted out for the next season. So I don't think that there's going to be any challenges or playoffs or whatever. So you guys are automatically going to be relegated. So Lots and DI moving over to Division 1, definitely. And for Division 3, it's going to be First and Raw, who will be seeded into Division 2 for Season 2. So congratulations on that one. Yeah, and then this to everybody else, obviously, like I said before, thanks for participating, and we'll see you in Season 2.
Excellent, excellent. Guys, from my side, I think I've talked a lot today. I don't really have anything more to say, which is strange, but that's where we are. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Guys, also, if you have joined us on the stream, thank you very much. If you are subscribed, that's great. If you are not, please hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the bell if you would like some notifications. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we are doing. And as always, if you want to, please leave us a comment. We do appreciate the feedback and anything that you guys always add to help us also promote what we are trying to do for both Battlefield Clan Wars and the community. Guys, from my side, I'm Yakusau for Battle Bros. Thank you for joining us this morning. See you on the battlefield.